Hi, everyone, and welcome. So, today we are delighted to speak with Peter, one of the key contributors to the development of the Occupational Safety and Health Toolbox of ERA. And we worked with Peter, and here today we are going to talk about this practical resource designed to support safety and health in the equipment rental industry. Hello, Peter. Thank you for being with us today.
Hello, Rabia. Thank you for having me. Um, it was really fantastic work with the ERA to work in that project. With my company, CP Consulting, located in Liechtenstein, and together with a really highly experienced and motivated team from the rental industry, we defined and designed the ERA Occupational Safety and Health Toolbox, which we talk about right now.
Yeah, thank you. So maybe we can start with the basics as you introduce your company and your team. So I have the several questions for prepared for today. So let me start with the basics from your perspective. How can rental companies practically benefit from using this toolbox in their the day-to-day operations and more? So if you can just give us the details for that part.
Yeah, to start with that, maybe the best is to utilize the available information on hand to identify the most critical safety hazard areas, and obviously also to use the material to prioritize intervention policies. If a company is using that material, most likely it leads to an optimization of the resource allocations, as well as for hopefully the definition of impactful safety strategy. Um, this all goes around the topic that the material which we have defined is not generic material. It's really coming from the rental industry and is designed for the rental industry.
So thank you for that. And maybe we can go a bit more the details part. So my second question is that what are the key tools or templates inside in the toolbox that can save time or improve safety on site?
So we have gene- uh, generally speaking, I think we have four key elements there. Number one is the benchmarking instrument. Second is the accident analysis, obviously followed by best practice examples and a so-called policymaker. And if let me start with the benchmarking. The benchmarking tool is based on data from the companies who participated in the project. So coming back to that, we had seven very well-known large rental companies in the project team who provided the data, covering around about 22,000 employees with corresponding more than 500 accidents, which give it a pretty solid base for the work, and also from a data and statistical point of view. The second point was that we used these data to make in-depth analysis about the accidents which really happen in the industry. And it's not only that we defined one generic number, it was then driven down into details such as the different functions within a rental company, the corresponding accidents impacting several or different body parts, as well as root cause analysis, which goes in parallel with that. And all that, again, is not generic data, it's coming from the rental industry. All of that was then basically followed up by best practices. So for each individual part, we then defined and collected the best practices from the industry, and obviously brought all that together in a in a in a sort of document which can be easily used then by rental companies. And finally, the policymaker. It's all about health and safety policies, and more or less every company need to have a sort of health and safety policy. And with this policymaker, we provide some frames and all the way down to example formulations, which companies can use as a starting point for their individual design phase of their individual company, individual policies.
So thank you, Peter. So my next question is about the maybe the referencing for the best practices part. Can you share some examples of how rental companies can integrate these toolbox into their the employee training or the risk assessment parts? So how basically they can just directly integrate it to their operations.
Also there, we can split it basically in maybe three sections. Companies have new employees, that would be one target group. You have then the team, which consists of workers who maybe are with the company for several years already. Or we have also new safety managers entering the rental industry. And if we start with the new employees, the material which we have provided is ready to use and ready to go training material, which experts, safety experts can use to train their new employees, to increase the awareness and make them aware, obviously, of the most critical areas and the accidents which could happen in the companies. So this is an excellent source, which again is ready to use. Uh, if we talk about the team members, also there, the safety manager can use that material, the best practices, the analysis, the generic input from our project work, and build it in his individual trainings for the team members to increase the awareness again and the sensibility. Yeah, because if you work for long times in a certain job and function, you may lose a little bit this sense of uh, urgency to say for the daily hazards with which you are confronted. And then obviously for new safety managers, it's an excellent source where you can immediately see the highest risk areas in your company. And if, especially if you are in a smaller rental company, you do not have typically the statistical width and depth because of lack of data to some extent. And therefore, you have with our ERA OSH Toolbox an excellent tool to work with and to start with.
So thank you for that, Peter. And I have just one last question. So basically, my question is that what would be your top 3 tips for rental companies who want to get the most out of the OCH toolbox? So how what are your 3 tips for them?
Okay, so I would start data first. Secondly would be focus and priority setting, and third would be learnings. And with the data, I would like to come back to the benchmarking tool. There we have defined a very simple 5-step approach. And if a company and an expert is following these 5 steps, you have immediately uh, um, your own performance vis-a-vis to the industry standard. And the benchmarking tool and the data also provides a sort of traffic light system, which gives you an indication, immediately an indication about the performance. Where are you? Is it already in red stage or you are still in green and everything is fine? Second would be focus. And there, obviously, with the accident analysis, which we drove down by function and by impacted body part, and also with root cause analysis going along with it, you have immediately the hotspots allocated and defined in the rental industry. Obviously, you need to compare it and somehow check it with the situation in your own company, but you have an excellent starting point. And the last would be the learnings. And there, um, if somebody needs to define an initiative, you typically start from scratch. And with the tools and the data and the information and the templates which we provide, you have also there an excellent starting point to speed up that process. You do not need to start from zero. You have already a good starting speed, which you can use to be more effective and productive as well.
So super, like the three short but like the super useful tips that we get from you. So thank you so much, Peter. So your insights help us to bring with the ones who are gonna use this toolbox and just practical information that we today get from you. And we really encourage our companies, like our members, and also the all of the equipment rental industry to explore this source. It's kind of a free and practical resource that can be found in the ERA website. And so hopefully they will implement into their operations. And again, thank you, Peter, for joining our call today.